What is up, everybody? I am your host, War Mother Shed, and this is the Growth is Hard podcast, where we break generational cycles, curses, and become the person that we aspire to be. Man, when I tell you I've had a phenomenal weekend, it has been nothing but blessings just raining down on me. Oh my God, praise to the Most High. Had a phenomenal weekend. Juneteenth was amazing, absolutely demolished the performance. So many familiar faces were there. I'm just eternally grateful for everybody that came out, that supported, that had a great time despite the heat, despite the weather. And man, I got a message for you today. But first, let's hit the intro.
My soul wanna break out the labyrinth. I too wanna break out the casket. I do, then they wonder what happened. Back from the dead, I should've said it was killing me. I set up boundaries. Trump with the border, and now you're supporting the immigration. Cause I've been there when you needed me most. To get you high even when I was low. Did it then, but I don't do it no more, man. Growth is hard. Growth is hard. Growth is hard. Growth is hard. Growth is high. Growth is high. Growth is always worth it. Growth is Growth is Growth is Growth is
Man, let me start off by saying Juneteenth was absolutely phenomenal, man. I have been anticipating and been so excited to not only announce that I was performing, but to get to the actual performance. It was amazing. I mean, quite literally, there's just tents of people everywhere. You had the Eastside Israelites over there. You have people from the radio station, from 103.5, from 98.1, from Perry Broadcasting. It was just so many people. And then of course there's friends, there's family, loved ones, and I'm just seeing everybody and getting ready to do this performance, and I'm just like really sitting in that moment like, wow, I've been just dying to get here. Now I'm here. I'm standing here in this moment right now. After all these weeks and months of preparation, of manifesting, and to be in that moment is just surreal. To then get on stage, I'm performing, I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world. And looking back at the footage, I felt solid, but I look solid too. I've been trying to work on losing weight and getting more flexible and more in shape, and I'm just so blessed and honored to be able to be in this position where I'm at now. It was not easy to recover from a gun safe falling on me, learning how to walk again, maneuvering everything in between, and just looking back on all of this made me think of something I heard the other day. And I know that this has been mostly a positive, reflection, but I know how easy it is and how often many people have, negative reflections. They have the what ifs, they think about what they should have done and all this stuff. And I want this all to be a conglomerate of good omens, good energy, good faith. Life itself is similar to a car. And a lot of times when we're driving, we're supposed to be focusing on what is in our windshield, what's right there in front of us. But sometimes, more often than not, we tend to think about things, kind of get lost in our own mind or imagination, just cruising. We start looking in that back window. We start looking in that rear view mirror. And we start to think about everything as far as what happened in the past, what's behind us. All these things that can't be changed. And even though for better or for worse, they made us who we are today. They got us where we are today. And though we may be not eternally grateful for it, we may not be happy where we're at, that's okay. Because it's the whole point of having the front windshield. We have so much to look ahead to. We have so much ground to cover. So when I think about, what the message is, stay looking forward and be excited and, hopeful for the future instead of being caught up in the past, because the past is such a small window. It really is. Just looking back into a very small, telescope of what you used to be and how things used to be. But the future, it's such a wide lens because the possibilities are endless. And I just want everybody to know that the future, that is their existence, that is their dreams, their goals, their aspirations, is in their hands right now. You've got the world in your hands, and all you have to do is simply plot out what your next steps are going to be, how you're going to get there. Best way I make plans is I make them forward to backwards, meaning if I can still break down how to achieve these goals, how to achieve these, dreams, not only forwards but backwards, it's a bulletproof plan. You don't just, start a race like, oh, well, how am I going to get there? Oh, I'm just going to get there. You make steps, plan actions, all of which is going to help you get back to focusing on your front windshield, your future. Relish in that moment. Take some time. Take a deep breath. Realize right now you're driving. You're in this moment, whether you like it or not. And all you can do is make the most of it. Because life is not infinite, it's finite. And what you decide to do with it is going to decide how life plays out itself. So remember next time when you're somewhere where you want to be, or somewhere where you don't want to be, that none of this is permanent, none of this is forever. So really soak in that moment and make the most of it. Because even if there's thunderstorms and rain, without them we'd never appreciate sunshine and rainbows. We'd never appreciate birds chirping if it wasn't for them being gone half of the year. We'd never be able to appreciate summer if it wasn't for winter. But all of which, when you get out, especially now more than ever in that hot sun, when you were wishing it was warm. Man, thank y'all so much for tuning in this week. Eternally grateful for everybody that's been checking out the podcast, really getting active in our community. Man, I'm just honored to be able to make these episodes, to be able to help people become the versions of themselves they're aspiring to be. There's so many people that I'm coming across now that, they hear the podcast or they're intrigued by it. They're like, what's the purpose of you doing this podcast? This is something new. I haven't heard of it. And the more that I detail and, share the story, people are excited. People are excited for the change. People are excited for the message. And it's something that starts within me, starts within you. It starts within all of us. Because the world that we want to see, we have to create and manifest within ourselves. You have to be the change to then create an infectious behavior and energy that's going to spread beyond your own imagination. It's going to become contagious. And then before you know it, it's your reality. What is on the inside will always eventually reflect the outside. So once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. I am your host, War Mother Shed, and this is the Growth is Hard podcast. I've got some new videos to upload to Instagram, Facebook. Be sure to check them out. Juneteenth was an absolute blessing. So thank you again to everyone at 103, Perry Broadcaster, for having me. Some phenomenal photography photos from, Studio 12. Definitely check them out. And God, I'm so excited for the next week. Who knows what's going to happen this week?
My soul wanna break out the labyrinth. I too wanna break out the casket. I do, then they wonder what happened. Back from the dead, I should've said it was killing me. I set up boundaries. Trump with the border, and now you're supporting the immigration. Cause I've been there when you needed me most. To get you high even when I was low. Did it then, but I don't do it no more, man. Growth is hard. Growth is hard. Growth
Growth is high.
Growth is high.
Growth is high.
Growth is high.
Growth is always worth it. Growth is. Growth is. Growth is. Growth is.